Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Welcome to Red Sox Focus. While the conversation in Boston has understandably centered on a major league club that has yet to find its footing this season, there is a parallel story unfolding at the minor league level that deserves serious attention. From high-A Greenville all the way up to triple-A Worcester, the Boston Red Sox farm system has been producing performances that should have this fan base genuinely energized. Today, we are going to break down those standout showings from 5 names you need to have on your radar: Anthony Ianson, Kyson Witherspoon, Justin Gonzalez, Juan Valera, Jake Bennett, and Payton Tolle. Let's get into it. We start with Anthony Ianson, a right-handed pitching prospect who has made an immediate impression in his professional debut at high-A Greenville. What made Ianson such an intriguing selection in the 2025 draft was the combination of an already advanced secondary arsenal layered on top of genuinely electric fastball velocity. And what we have seen early in his professional career suggests that profile is not only real but continuing to develop. Ianson is not a one-trick pitcher who lives and dies by an overpowering heater. He complements that fastball with off-speed offerings that demonstrate feel and intentionality well beyond what you typically see from a pitcher in his first professional season. This is worth emphasizing because it speaks to the most important developmental question surrounding any hard-throwing starting pitching prospect. Can the secondary stuff hold up? We saw that question swirl around Payton Tolle. We saw it raised about Connelly Early before he forced his way onto the major league roster. For Ianson, the early returns suggest an answer that should encourage Red Sox fans considerably. He is generating swing and miss with his breaking ball, inducing weak contact and rollover grounders with his changeup when hitters sit on the fastball, and demonstrating the kind of pitchability in high-leverage counts that you cannot teach. The velocity is already there. The off-speed is developing. That combination, if it continues to mature, puts Ianson on a path toward becoming one of the more complete pitching prospects in this entire system. Now we turn to the player who may be generating the most buzz among the pitching prospects at the high-A level right now, Kyson Witherspoon. The 15th overall pick in the 2025 draft, Witherspoon arrived in professional baseball with enormous expectations attached to him, and nothing we have seen early in his debut season has done anything to temper those expectations. He is sitting anywhere from 97 to 99 miles per hour on his fastball with the ability to touch 100. And his delivery is violent in the most complimentary sense of the word, explosive, loaded with deception, and generating plus extension toward home plate that makes an already elite heater play even harder than the radar gun suggests. But the fastball, as dominant as it is only part of what makes Witherspoon worth monitoring so closely. The slider is a legitimate outpitch. It features sharp, multi-plane break that makes it genuinely difficult to square up when it is located correctly, and Witherspoon has been throwing it with increasing command and conviction as the early season has progressed. More encouraging still is the development of his changeup. Pairing a 97-plus fastball out of that explosive delivery with a well-executed changeup that dies before reaching the plate and spikes through the zone is a combination that becomes almost impossible to sit on as a hitter. The front shoulder stays closed through the delivery, the arm speed looks identical, and the bottom drops out at the last moment. For a pitcher in his first professional season, the sophistication of that sequencing is remarkable. Yes, the ERA has taken some lumps. That is going to happen. Witherspoon is 20 years old, he is making his professional debut, and he is still ironing out the command and consistency that separate a prospect from a finished product. None of that should alarm anyone paying close attention to what is actually happening on the mound. The development process is nonlinear. The minor leagues exist precisely so that young pitchers can work through these growing pains in a lower stakes environment, and the underlying stuff, the raw material that pitching coaches build around, is undeniably elite. Give him innings, give him time, and allow the process to unfold. Moving to another standout name on the high-A Greenville roster, Justin Gonzalez has been putting together a stretch of performances that are frankly difficult to fully articulate without seeing the video. The 6'8", powerfully built outfielder, the seventh-ranked prospect in the entire Red Sox system according to MLB Pipeline, already won the Carolina League batting title last season as one of the youngest qualifying hitters in the circuit, and the early evidence from 2026 suggests he has not only maintained that offensive profile, but is adding to it. The home run swing alone is worth the price of admission. Gonzalez does not simply hit the baseball hard. He hits it with the kind of effortless, authoritative violence that you associate with the very top tier of power hitters in the game. A recent home run to left field, driven on a line over the wall on what can only be described as a tomahawk missile off the bat, registered an exit velocity of 101.9 miles per hour, and if anything, that number felt conservative from a visual standpoint. The ball left the bat on a trajectory that brought to mind O'Neill Cruz, that rare category of hitter whose contact events register differently than everything around them. Gonzalez belongs in that conversation. He is physically imposing, his swing is mechanically sound, and the raw power he generates from his frame is the kind that does not diminish as the level of competition increases. It tends to look even more dramatic. What makes Gonzalez a truly complete prospect, however, is what he does when he is not at the plate. His arm in right field has been a genuine weapon through the early portion of the season, with multiple outfield assists already on his ledger. One throw in particular, cutting down a runner attempting to advance to third base on a ball hit to right, was delivered on an absolute line, no arc, no hop, just a rifle shot from the gap to the bag. His athleticism, remarkable for a player of his size, also showed up on a play where he threw out a runner tagging up from second. Right field at Fenway Park is one of the most demanding defensive positions in baseball, with its odd angles, shallow foul territory, and uniquely challenging wall configurations. When and if Gonzalez arrives in Boston, and that conversation, while premature, is not unreasonable to begin having, his combination of arm strength and athleticism will serve him well in that environment. Before we leave the high-A level entirely, a quick but important mention of Juan Valera, who delivered one of the more dominant individual outings we have seen from any arm in the system this season. Valera struck out 7 batters across 3 1/3 innings, working with a fastball that touched 99.5 miles per hour at its peak, while maintaining the kind of command that makes triple-digit velocity mean something beyond the raw number. The breaking ball was sharp, the changeup was present and effective. It was, by any honest measure, a filthy performance. The kind of outing where hitters walk back to the dugout shaking their heads. When you are fanning 7 of the 10 batters you face across 3 1/3 innings, you have done something that transcends prospect status and enters the territory of legitimate top-of-system conversation. Now we move to Triple-A Worcester, where the 2 names commanding the most attention are Jake Bennett and Payton Tolle, and both have given the organization real reasons for optimism through the early portion of the season. Jake Bennett is a 25-year-old left-handed starter who came to Boston this past offseason via trade with the Washington Nationals, surrendering pitching prospect Luis Perales in the process. The trade raised eyebrows at the time given what Perales represented, but Bennett's early performances at AAA have done much to validate the reasoning. In his most recent start, he delivered 5 scoreless innings, surrendering just 1 hit and walking 2 while striking out 4 batters. The fastball was sitting around 95 miles per hour, which is exactly what the Red Sox envisioned when they targeted him. A tick of velocity improvement from his previous profile, giving him the ability to challenge hitters who are one step from the major leagues. But what made the outing genuinely impressive was not the fastball alone. It was the changeup, a 60-grade offering that generates elite whiff rates and has been the defining pitch of Bennett's developmental arc, combined with a cutter that has sharpened since Boston's player development staff got their hands on it. Left-handed hitters facing a southpaw who commands 95 miles per hour and can bury a plus changeup at any point in the count are in an extraordinarily uncomfortable position, and Bennett is making that discomfort look very repeatable. 2 walks across 5 innings is a perfectly acceptable outcome for a pitcher of this profile working back into a rhythm at the AAA level. The path to a major league audition is real and could materialize sooner than many expect if the Boston rotation continues to be tested by injury or inconsistency. Finally, Payton Tolle. The top-ranked prospect in the entire Boston Red Sox system, the left-handed starter who cracked the Major League playoff roster last October and has firmly established himself as the heir apparent to this rotation's future. His most recent AAA start was, in a word, impressive. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run on a solo home run, and 7 strikeouts. He created 11 whiffs on the night with chase rates pushing into the 30% range, which reflects not just power stuff, but the ability to manufacture uncomfortable at-bats through pitch sequencing and command. It is worth noting that Tolle's underlying numbers would look even cleaner were it not for some defensive lapses behind him that have contributed to unearned runs on his ledger. When you separate the outcomes that are within his control from those that are not, what you find is a starting pitcher who is operating with front-of-the-rotation conviction at the AAA level and is squarely on the doorstep of another major league opportunity. The fastball is live, the secondary mix is diversifying, and the competitive temperament, the part that does not show up in a stat line but that every scout and pitching coach discusses when they describe a legitimate starting pitching prospect, has been present from the first time Tolle stepped onto a professional mound. The bottom line is this: the major league club in Boston has had a difficult start to the season, and that reality is not lost on anyone following this team, but the minor league pipeline is producing at a level that should provide genuine encouragement about the direction of this franchise. From Ianson and Witherspoon showcasing elite stuff at high A, to Gonzalez making the case for one of the most complete offensive and defensive profiles in the system, to Valera's dominant individual performance, to Bennett and Tolle logging quality innings at AAA and knocking on the door of a major league roster that may soon need them, the farm system is doing its job. We will keep tracking all of it right here on Red Sox Focus. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.